This is the new iPhone 14. For the 15th anniversary of the iPhone, Apple did some things that are the same and some things that are different. On the outside, the 14 inherits the tried and true flat aluminum sided design from the iPhone 12 and 13. On the inside, Apple essentially repackaged the iPhone 13 Pro, sans the telephoto camera and sans the high refresh rate screen. The result is quite lovely and makes the iPhone 14 an excellent upgrade for most people. Hi, I'm Patrick Holland, and this is my review of the iPhone 14. For 5 days, I've been using a review copy on loan from Apple. In this video, I'll cover the design, the camera upgrades, the processor, the software, battery, safety features, and more. In the description, chapters are set up so you can jump forward in the video if you like. Also, I got links to the iPhone 14 so you can check it out for yourself. With all that housekeeping out of the way, let's jump into the iPhone 14. The first thing to know about the new iPhone 14 is that there are two models. A regular one with a 6.1-inch display that starts at $799, and a new larger model with a 6.7-inch display called the iPhone 14 Plus that starts at $899. Both phones are available in 5 colors: Midnight, Starlight, Product Red, Blue, which is what I've been using, and Purple, which is kind of more like a light lilac color. For this video, I'm just going to focus on the iPhone 14. Once I can get my hands on an iPhone 14 Plus, I'll definitely do a review about it. I bring that up because Apple's inclusion of the 14 Plus might be the most obvious change to the non-Pro iPhone this year. The large iPhone fills a vacancy left by the iPhone Mini. Familiarity is an underrated quality, and the iPhone 14 is filled with it. It has the same smaller screen notch that debuted on the iPhone 13, and the body is made of the same matte finished aluminum as the 12 and 13, which means that the iPhone 14 is 17% lighter than the 14 Pro, despite being roughly about the same size. That lighter weight makes the 14 a joy to hold and use, and that's before you even add a case. You also get a phone that's rated IP68 for water and dust resistance, meaning it can survive being submerged under 6 meters of water, about 20 feet, for 30 minutes. So it should have no trouble having a can of yerba mate being spilt on it. That's never happened before. Now, one thing that's missing from the 14 that's been on every iPhone ever made is a SIM card tray. In the US, the iPhone 14 will only work on eSIM. Apple partnered with US carriers to ensure that the process of moving your old number to your new phone is as simple as putting your old iPhone next to the iPhone 14. My personal phone is on Google Fi, which supports eSIMs, but when I try to transfer my number to a review unit, I had to contact the carrier to assist. Turns out my SIM card was very, very old. But eSIMs aren't new to the iPhone. In fact, since the debut of the iPhone XS and XR in 2018, the iPhone has supported eSIMs, but usually as a secondary SIM. And then there's the inside of the iPhone 14, which has been redesigned to help better dissipate heat. The internal redesign also means that the iPhone 14's back glass isn't attached to the housing, making it cheaper and easier to replace for an out-of-warranty repair. The iPhone 14 has 3 cameras. There's a main wide-angle camera on the back and an ultra-wide camera, and on the front there's a new updated true-depth camera system. So, earlier when I said that the iPhone 14 is an iPhone 13 without the telephoto camera, that's because the main camera on the 14 is very similar to the main camera on the 13 Pro. The 14's main shooter gets a larger sensor and a lens with a faster f1.5 aperture, which, combined with Apple's new processing pipeline called Photonic Engine, helps improve image quality, especially when you're taking photos in darker environments. All of this means that the iPhone 14 takes great photos and videos. Even when the lighting wasn't good, I was still able to get a respectable snap. Check out this photo of a dog taken inside the not-so-bright interior of a coffee shop. Notice how the iPhone 14 captured the texture and detail in the dog's fur. Also, the dog was moving his head when I took the photo, and the iPhone 14 did a decent job of freezing the action. The ultra-wide angle camera on the 14 is one of my favorite cameras to take photos and videos with. In terms of image quality, it ranges between good under bright lighting and just okay under low and mixed lighting. The extreme field of view on the ultra-wide camera gives photos and videos a dramatic look. But in terms of image quality, the ultra-wide camera is still a step down from the main camera. The iPhone 14's night mode is improved, but still suffers from light source reflections. Take a look at this night mode photo of an overpass. Notice how the store's sign is reflected in the night sky. Now, here are some more photos and videos that I shot with the iPhone 14. Overall, videos look good. Cinematic mode got an upgrade and can now record 4K video at 24 frames per second. There's also a new tool for video image stabilization called action mode. Basically, it's kind of like GoPro levels of image stabilization. And if you're shooting 4K video, you just tap on the action mode button and the resolution drops to 2.8K, but the results are fantastic. In bright light, video quality is excellent, but in low light, things look muddy and image quality is just okay. Take a look at this video of a man pulling his dog who's prone on a portable grocery cart across the street. The details look soft. The other thing that makes the iPhone 14 a repackaged 13 Pro is the fact that it has an A15 Bionic chip. Last year, there was two versions of the chip, one for the 13 and 13 mini, and another with an extra GPU core for the iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max. And that's the one inside the iPhone 14. In terms of performance, the 14 is speedy. Animations look smooth, gaming is fun, and the iPhone 14 handled, well, pretty much anything I threw at it, from Call of Duty Mobile and Asphalt 8 Airborne Plus to Warped Kart Racers and Lego Brawls. In terms of battery life, the iPhone 14 lasts a tad longer than the iPhone 13. I got through a day, no problem, and my screen on time averaged about 5 hours. The iPhone 14 is also defined by what it is not, which is a Pro iPhone. Apple packed the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max with a hefty amount of new features, including a new processor, a notch that has morphed into a display cutout, the dynamic island interface that surrounds the cutout, and always-on display, none of which are on the iPhone 14. Instead, the 14 is defined by its tried and true design, so if you like the iPhone 12 and 13, then you'll be right at home on the iPhone 14. It's a solid upgrade, especially when you consider that it costs the same as what the iPhone 12 and 13 did when they were new. While I definitely don't think you need to upgrade from an iPhone 13 to the 14, if you're sporting an iPhone 11 or older, the iPhone 14 is a great upgrade that gives you better battery life, increased performance, a much better screen, better durability in cameras, as well as safety features like crash detection and emergency SOS via satellite. At the end of the day, I really enjoyed my time with the iPhone 14, but realized that most of its best features are things you can't see, or features that hopefully you'll never use. It's easy to overlook the improvements Apple made to the iPhone 14, or to be distracted by the flashy new features on the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max, which, by the way, make sure you take a look at my review video for those phones. But when it's all said and done, the iPhone 14 is like comfort food and will hit the spot for most people. But now I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments if you have questions about the iPhone 14. Lastly, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and thank you for watching.